All right, take three, maybe stop fucking it up. Welcome back. I had a great weekend. I hope everybody listening did as well. I'm uh I'm recording on Monday. Usually we'll be ready on Fridays. We'll have another one up this Friday as well. So that'll be cool. A Monday and a Friday episode. If I was a little bit higher functioning, maybe that could be every week. Who knows? But as I always say, I will be entirely honest about how this podcast evolves because it is very much a one-man show, except for, having guests on, which so far we've had Andrew, which was a fun-ass episode. We're going to have more in the future, near future for sure. I got a couple buddies who I'm excited to bring on here. We'll have a good time. But yeah, I was a little bummed that I missed last Friday, but we'll have two this week because of that. I guess that's cool. But I had a great weekend. So I had a fun weekend, saw family, lots of good time, and it's just you just gotta be thankful. You just can't help but be thankful. So yeah, that's how I've been feeling. Let's stop being sappy and shit. It's spring, man. It's spring. We're finally back to baseball is coming up. Baseball is finally coming back. You know why? Because the Super Bowl was yesterday, and Pat Mahomes won his third ring. Who wanted to see that? 99% of people did not want to see that. But it happened anyway. Welcome to the NFL. I didn't even hate Tom Brady when he was good. I've always liked Tom Brady. I don't even think I hate Pat Mahomes, but he's won 3 times. He's so young. It's probably just going to keep happening. And that's not I wonder how fun that's going to be to watch. I don't know. But I didn't have that much. I had fun. Okay. I guess I did have fun watching the Super Bowl yesterday. It was a good time. But I had a bunch of bets in play across 2 apps because there were, bonus bets and specials and all kinds of shit going on yesterday. It had to have been the biggest betting day in the history of fucking sports yesterday. I swear. It had to have been. Because with all of every sports betting app was doing some free shit. There always are. But there was just so many specials and there's just so much stuff. And me as a seasoned veteran, I showed up prepared. Just like always, this was the first year that I did not make money on the Super Bowl that I bet on it. I don't even remember watching the Super Bowl last year, but I know I didn't bet on it last year. I don't know what the hell I was doing last year around the Super Bowl, but I had made money. I've said it before, but I made money the year that Tampa Bay beat Kansas City when the Bucs were underdogs. I made money that year out of belief of Tom Brady. I think I won another year, so I knew I was 2 for 2. I think it was the year after that. I whatever the Super Bowl was in 21, I think. Didn't win yesterday with as many. Thankfully, like half these bets were free bets anyway. And I only threw 20, 30, whatever down. But I was, with that much stuff in play, you're like, oh, something's got to hit. And nothing hit. The only bet that hit was me betting Amanda that Justin Bieber was not going to make an appearance at the halftime show. Because I guess via Twitter, she was under the belief that it was going to happen, which I can't blame her. But I made $10 there, so woo! That's all I won. I had a bunch of bets going last night. Didn't win shit. I wasn't even that upset about it. It just felt like fate. The sick feeling I got just watching Patrick Mahomes glide down the field at the end so effortlessly. Everybody knew what was going to happen. I feel like only Niner fans, really had some belief that it was going to be okay. But that's just sport, man. Brutal. Fucking brutal. I got to stop talking about fucking football. I don't know what I'm doing. Talking about football on the baseball podcast. But, man, it's over. It's over now. Their football's done. It was a weird season. All the quarterbacks got hurt. I did have fun watching it for the most part. I had fun getting excited about the Ravens and the Lions until my heart was smashed. And then 2 weeks later, my heart was smashed again when, Brock Purdy couldn't pull it off. And it's literally, I lost a couple parlays by one leg. I mean, that's just tough. I mean, it's, what am I supposed to do? I ran out of luck. I think I'm human. I think I'm human. I think yesterday just proved that I'm human. It took this long, but it's probably fate. It's probably fate. But the good news is, betting on baseball, I can lose in betting on baseball, and I love baseball enough to where I can blame it on the beauty of the game and how you never know what's going to happen. That's how I can bet on baseball and just, $5 and it's like, oh, whatever. And it's like, there's so many games and you don't know what's going to happen. You really don't. Probably way more so than football. But, losing bets in football just makes me furious. We're going to have baseball back sooner rather than later. Because I think pitchers and catchers already reported. We've got a clean slate. I was talking about it this weekend. How good it feels to have a clean slate. It feels so good just to 0-0. We haven't even played spring training games yet. And anything can happen. Who knows? Anything can happen. I also saw a video of Shohei taking some swings today, so that's good. That's a good sign of spring. Shohei's been cleared to swing, so he's getting ready. There's a lot to be excited about, man. This is going to be a fun season. I'm really excited. I wrote down some stuff, for the remainder here, but it's just various things that I feel excited about, at least in this moment, going into this season. One thing that did piss me off, just as reference, I went on ESPN and looked at the power rankings as of 8 days ago. And, I mean, power rankings, if you ever want to get pissed off, the power rankings is a good place to go. But this shit was just incorrect. They had the Cubs at 12, which I can honestly live with that. Unfortunately, I'm more scared of the Cubs than the Brewers or Reds. Because I think the Cubs are the better team out of those three by a lot. So Cubs at 12, and then they go Brewers 13, Reds 14. The Brewers don't have anybody who can hit the ball that fucking well. And the Reds were only 2 games above 500 last year. They have a really good young team, but also, it's the Reds. Cardinals were at 19. They probably deserved it. I don't know. I'm gonna limit my rant there because who wants to hear a Cardinals fan being a little bitch? Excuse me, but I don't know, man. I could live with us being at 19. I know we had a bad year. I could have looked at other teams that were ahead of us that I thought were bullshit, but I didn't do that. But I think I was annoyed that the Cubs, Brewers, and Reds were just, boom, 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 right there in order. It felt lazy to me. I don't know. The Reds are good, but 2 games above 500, anything can still happen, dog. But so maybe it's because I'm a Cardinals fan and we sucked ass last year. Maybe that's why I'm so much, got so much enthusiasm for a clean slate here. But it's definitely a very different feeling going into a season after your team sucks. That's still new, That's a new experience. Until the Cardinals, start being good again, maybe I'm just gonna continue feeling like a loser in the baseball realm. I don't know, But that's the fun. So much fucking possibility. Other teams, the Mets and Padres last year, two other teams that severely underperformed. The Mets are going to get Edwin Diaz back, their all-star closer. That dude's sick as hell. He had a whole year resting his arm, so I hope that'll be a net positive. I think it could be, you know. He's coming back out there at Padres. I'm excited to watch Fernando Tatis Jr. again. I think he could win a MVP out of nowhere. He could definitely win an MVP at some point in his career. The Dodgers, I'm gonna try not to talk about the Dodgers too much this year. I don't think I will, because they're always good. They're always good. They have a chance to be superhuman this year because of the money they've spent and the roster they've built. So where I kind of look for them is, the comparisons to those scary good Yankee teams from back in the day. I feel like that's the history that the Dodgers are chasing. And this year, 2024, is the beginning of that. The very first chapter of the Dodgers in that realm of pursuing baseball excellence. So we're at the beginning of something, and we don't know. We, as of right now, I don't want to say it's a coin flip, but there's no way to know how these next, 10 years or whatever of the Shohei contract are going to go. But it's the beginning of it, and it's exciting. Oakland, holy shit, I hope somebody can save them and get them out of there. Not out of Oakland, but out of John Fisher's cold, clammy hands. Hopefully they stay in Oakland. There's a little clip of the Las Vegas mayor talking about how she thinks that Fisher needs to listen to the city and the fans and everybody because they want Oakland to stay. I've got a pipe dream that it can still happen. Vegas, what if Vegas just says no? Maybe they won't. I don't know. But I'm really excited to watch an Oakland A's game this year. I'm going to find my way out there somehow to go to the Coliseum because I think that park is sick. I like Moneyball. Their mascot's awesome. It's an elephant. His name is Stomper. What's not to love? John Fisher is trying to shred that culture. Maybe they can figure something out. Maybe the rich asshole won't get what he wants for the first time in what feels like ever. Who knows? But, spring training. Infinite possibility. You see the theme here? Isn't it fun? All right. I'll think about doing monthly power rankings this year. So, especially since this is the podcast will have the opportunity to, cover the season from the very beginning all the way to the end. Now, I'm excited to kind of see what my episodes look like during the season, because how creatively this podcast is always viewed as a creative project. It involves writing and it involves podcasting shit is, I guess you could call it creative. Say what you want, I don't know, but I'll have the opportunity to talk about baseball shit that's going on, or I feel like there's lots of possibilities. So that's exciting. I'm really going to try to do the Bullpen League for fantasy baseball. I'm thinking next week, episode 40, we'll probably explain the outline of the league and kind of how I could see a fantasy baseball league going. If I'm commissioner and can find 9 other people who want to play some fantasy baseball. So I'll lay that out next week. We'll see how it goes. I'll be playing fantasy baseball no matter what because I'm in a league with my dad and that league is pretty solid and I really enjoy that one. So if I can't get the Bullpen League together, I'll definitely be bitching or talking positively or something about my fantasy team throughout the year. I'm not going to give advice and shit because that's stupid, and my advice I'm giving to myself to try to win because I haven't won this league yet. I'm probably the youngest dude in there, and I had quite the collapse last year. I made episodes about it, bitching, but I'm excited. Fantasy baseball makes me so fucking happy. I love it so much. If you have any mild interest in fantasy baseball, reach out to me, and we will cater this league so that everybody involved has something that they are excited about it. Got it? All right, good. Because it's just so fucking fun. I have a great time with it. Trevor Bauer, still unsigned. Blake Snell, still unsigned. Two very quality pitchers with very different situations. Blake Snell and his agent are asking for the moon. Trevor Bauer is asking for the league minimum with incentives. He deserves a shot. Say what you want, but he deserves a shot. If the Cardinals signed him, they get a hell of a lot better. That's all I'll say. Blake Snell, he'll get something, but holy shit, dude, the whole market's hinging on a lot. How soon do you want to get in there, man? I don't know. Cody Bellinger hasn't signed yet either. I'm sure he's asking for a lot. He had one good year. How often do you see one player have a really good year and then kind of fall off? And after they got a big contract, I feel like that happens. I don't know. Maybe, what do you think? I don't know. I feel like that happens pretty often. I think Cody Bellinger can probably keep going. I feel like he's probably fixed his swing, and he's still young. He's got a lot of power. He's a fucking athlete. He can play multiple positions. He is a very valuable player. Over $200 million would be ridiculous. No, there's no way. I think it was ridiculous. I even just suggested that number. There's no way. I think over $100 million is still a little bit questionable. 150, I think, could be batshit insane. But I'm really curious to see where he goes, because he's going to go somewhere. He's too good to just sit on his ass by the time the opening day comes around. Same with Blake Snell. Trevor Bauer, people don't want to deal with the shit, but I don't think there's going to be shit. I think he just wants to play. A few things to leave you with. Baseball Doesn't Exist is a YouTube channel on YouTube. I'm such a genius. It's a YouTube channel. He makes very good baseball videos. I feel like I've talked about him before. He had a video recently about I don't remember the exact title, but it was something along the lines of, does being fat make you better at baseball? ? A great video, extremely informative, lots of shit to back it up too. Lots of good information to back it up. And within that information, I learned two things. One important to me and one that's going to be really important to you. So the one that was important to me, Tim Lincecum. If you know who Tim Lincecum is, I say it how you want. Tim Lincecum was a very good pitcher with the San Francisco Giants. His nickname was the Freak. He was a really good, dominating pitcher for a good handful of years. How many times can I say good? Jesus Christ. But he was dominant. And I learned that one off season, he lost 20 pounds. And the following year, he had an ERA over 5, and he was god-awful. And I never knew that because I always knew that he fell off the table. It happens all the time in baseball and sports and everything. A player can shit the bed out of nowhere, and it doesn't make any sense. That's happened plenty. But if it was because he lost 20 pounds, if one of my favorite pitchers, from kind of my childhood, favorite pitchers to watch, he was so fun to watch. He threw so hard. He was so dominant. So good. He lost 20 pounds and was suddenly terrible, never found it again. If that was why, I never knew that. I'm 24 and I never knew that. So that's exciting. Here's what's important to you. And I say it's important to you because you're definitely not going to forget it. So I'll say it now. If you're listening this far, I really do appreciate it. Here's what's going to be important for you to remember. Alexi Ramirez I think he played for the White Sox, and I'm sure some other teams as well. Alexi Ramirez apparently would eat a sandwich consisting of 2 donuts with mayonnaise in the middle. I don't remember if he would eat that before every game, but the fact that that's something that he would eat and then talk about it out loud, I had to pass it on. So now you have that image in your head too. Congratulations. So I'm going to hop off of here. This upcoming Friday, I'll be back with episode 40. That'll be cool. It'll outline kind of the ideas for the fantasy league. We'll see if we can get that off the ground. I'm really curious, but I'm excited to get into it and then kind of present it like school. That'll be fun. And yeah, if you're still listening, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go get Burger King probably. Happy spring training. Lots to be excited about.